Hello my lovelies. I've been working on this for 2 weeks and I don't even have a script. Last video clearly showed that I can't do scripts. I either look alive and like a human being, but I have no idea what I'm saying, or I know exactly what I'm saying and I sound like I just woke up from a coma. So this video will be completely off the cuff. As I mentioned, the 90s have significantly more good movies. And I can't possibly do top 10 because, again, my goal is not to make a top 10, surprisingly. My goal is to tell you which movies you should watch. And when it comes to the 60s, the 70s, the 80s, there are about 10 movies that you should watch. But when it comes to the 90s, the 2000s and so on, there are significantly more movies you should watch because, well, the industry grows and there are new directors, new ideas and so on and so forth. Also, there are more people on this planet, so yeah. But I still want to do a top 10 best movies. So before I am making top 10, I am making top 15, which is a part of top 25 best movies of the 90s. So we are starting from the bottom. Yeah, if you have trouble understanding, don't hesitate to write to me in the comments or on my Discord. Also, don't pay much attention to the order, because the order changes every 2 days, so again, it's not the goal to make a top. It's the goal to tell you which movies to watch. And starting from the bottom, the Blair Witch Project. I'm gonna be honest with you, when I watched it for the first time I wasn't really impressed. Which is weird because with the nostalgia, usually the opposite of that happens. But I rewatched it and it turned out to be really good. Like, it's a very unique horror movie. I haven't seen anything like it. Well, I'm not a very avid horror movie fan. I watched like 15 horror movies in total. Well, not counting the slashers. I don't consider the slashers horror movie because they're not scary at all. I obviously watched all Halloween movies, all Friday the 13th movies, all Hellraiser series, and so on. So yeah, the Blair Witch Project is... Well, you know what Blair Witch Project is. It just looks very real. Like, it's made to look very real, like what is actually happening on the screen, made look like it was happening in real life, and they managed to do it very well. Again, nothing really happens in this movie, just 3 dudes in the woods getting lost and some creepy shit is happening around them, but there are no special effects whatsoever. And it still works. Yeah, it really works as, well, it's more of a thriller rather than a horror movie, but like, it feels real. That's why it is in the top. Okay, number 15. The Boondock Saints. Before I rewatched this movie, it was 9 out of 10, because I watched it like 10 years ago and I was very impressionate back then, so it was very high on the rating. But then I rewatched it and it fell down significantly. It is a cult movie, like, you either like it very much or you don't like it at all. William Dafoe is here and he's great as always. And then Norman Reedus, the guy that was in Walking Dead, if I remember correctly. I have never watched this show, but you might have seen him there. I like cute guys. Like, I'm not gay, but, you know. No. He's a cute guy. This film is basically a revenge fantasy. Like, wouldn't it be cool if somebody kept all the evil in this world in check? Like, wouldn't it be cool that some dude can just go around and kill all the mafia and so on? And it sounds very, you know, adolescent, but it still holds. Like, it aged pretty well, even for me, who is a cynic and I don't feel anything most of the time. Nothing optimistic, I mean. I feel a lot of dark shit, but nothing optimistic. And it still fills me with hope. even though it's not real and it could never be real. That's why I included it, but it's 7 out of 10. Moving on. Run Lola Run. I would say it's an art house movie, because it's, again, very niche. It's a German movie, which is the first German movie that appears in my tops, and I didn't even want to include it into this top because it's so niche. I mean, it's not a very good movie, first of all, but like it kinda relates to determinism. I mean, like it shows how one event can affect the future, basically. So yeah, that's why it's here. It's not exactly a time travel movie, but it's near there. Yeah. Number 14, Lolita. This is 1997. And it is very different from what Kubrick made. These are two completely unrelated films, apart from all the events, well, half of the events that happen in this movie. So Kubrick made it a dark comedy. Lyne made it a love story, I guess. This movie hits me very bad because it reminds me a lot about my relationships. Basically, if you ignore the age of Lolita, this is a movie about how one person is dependent on another, like you can't live without them, and they can live without you just fine. Like they don't need you to survive, and you need them in your life to survive. And that's basically how all my relationships look like. That's why it hits me so bad. Yeah. Number 13. Halloween H2O or H20, I don't really know how you read it. This is the best slasher movie ever made. Like I already mentioned, I watched almost all of them, and this is the best one. Because this is the only movie in which the victim is actually smart. And it's very refreshing to see. And Laurie is very good. Is a very good actress. And it looks fantastic. Again, it is technically a horror movie, but like think of it more of a action movie. The victim is actually fighting the monster, not just running around being stupid and getting killed. Yeah, so watch it. If you don't like slasher movies, watch it, because that fixes exactly the problem with slasher movies, that the people in them are very dumb. Number 12. Terminator 2 Judgment Day. This is a great action movie, and it is a great action movie because of the actors. There are 4 great actors, and the best one is the kid. Edward Furlong. Well, he never starred anywhere after this movie, so yeah, he is great. I think you might have watched it. Well, depends on your age, basically. But like, it's a great action movie. Number 11.